Alright, so
I knew I had to take matters into my own hands,
I'm getting a little lost. So, I get what you're telling me, but...
I didn't have a whole lot of help from anyone other than myself. There was only so much I could do to help myself.
Wait. Well, I don't get why you didn't do it, though.
Didn't do what?
Just make the jump, like, to begin with, you know?
Because I knew it wasn't the right time yet. I was reckless enough to make the jump, but it was premeditated. Not to mention all the shit going on at home. It just wasn't the right time.
Yeah, true. It's true.
I mean, you understand what it's like when you're in a place that you hate so much. You'll just do anything to get the fuck out of there. But yeah, like I said, I knew it would take someone or something to happen to me in order for me to start the healing process. And I wasn't just gonna sit around in New York for the rest of the summer, and the answer was just so clear to me. And that answer was to go travel.
You know you gotta tell them the story, right?
I packed up everything that I was gonna need for my road trip, and I set out to Boston first for orientation. Alright, doing a road trip. I decided to document everything through Snapchat here in northern New York all the way to San Diego. I got in late to Boston, went to orientation the very next morning, and it lasted about 7 hours. I came back, my car got towed, unfortunately, but luckily I was able to get it back after paying $150 cash to those fuckers. And it being the first day of summer, I figured why not go to the beach. I sat down and meditated for a little bit and just prepared myself for the long road ahead. And the very next morning I got up, drove out, I made it to Hartford, and I was well on my way to my next stop, which is Pittsburgh. So let me go back and explain what I was feeling before this road trip and everything that was going through my mind. I wasn't really doing much. I had just been laid off by my job, and I don't know, I was just kind of moping around, not really doing anything. Everything was just super depressing. I don't know, I just had nothing to do. Like, I was so gung-ho with school for the longest time. I was always busy. I was either at school, I was either studying, or at work. And when none of that existed, I I had nothing to do to keep my mind off of things. Luckily, that all changed when my buddy Carlos called me up and asked if I could shoot a music video for him. It was my first music video. It was all improvised on the spot. A bunch of my younger friends who were still in high school at the time, they all came to the set, and it was probably the best shoot I've ever had. The star himself. Yeah. Let's try some like shit. Alright, hold up, Carlos, last words again?
I want to die.
Take two.
Take two?
Behind the scenes. Out here with cameraman Marley. The whole squad. Yo.
Okay, so
we're fucking out here.
Stopped by the police. Oh my god, ruining everything.
The cops ended up coming. It was a whole ordeal. They were messing with our shoot, but this entire past year really took a toll on me mentally. Not just because of how intense school became for me, but also everything that was going on at home. I had really began to treat this ambition, this goal to get to Boston as if it was do or die. Because it really was. It was my final fucking shot to get out of a small town and to really, truly start my life. And this was it. I applied to colleges in high school and my first year of college, and I was denied by everyone. My whole life just became school, classes, the library, studying, extra credit, everything. I can tell you honestly, all the things that were going on at home, I had to just completely mentally block it. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot when you come home at almost midnight every single night, see your dad sleeping on the couch, and then going upstairs and hearing your mom cry. And you feel bad for everyone, but I couldn't let that get to me. Not at that time. I really needed to get out. And you might be wondering why I'm so open about personal family problems like this. I mean, you're probably watching this and you're just now seeing me for the first time. I value my transparency. Like, this is my story. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for everyone. It's my truth. You need to know what was going on so you understand who I am, so you can empathize with me or understand my story at least, and what this road trip really meant to me. And, well, I guess that leaves us where we left off. Alright, so I just came into Pittsburgh, and I really shouldn't be here any longer, but I'm getting ready to go to the Fort Pitts tunnel, and I just need this perks of being a wallflower moment. I need it for closure. My favorite movie throughout high school had always been The Perks of Being a Wallflower. There's just this one scene that I wanted to actually live and experience, and it's when they drive through the Fort Pitt tunnel. Where are you going? Please don't be honking at me. He's honking at me.
Walking the driveway, you know that.
And what's great about this is it's this tunnel. It's this really small 2-lane tunnel, but when you come out at the end of it, it's the entire city of Pittsburgh, everywhere. It's the lights, it's the bridges, it's the water. It's the most incredible view ever. So I had really high hopes for what this was gonna be like. Alright, let's fucking go. Oh my god, this is it. Holy shit, this is it.
Oh my god, what is this song?
Right? I have no idea.
Have you ever heard this before?
Never.
Patrick, we've got to go through the tunnel.
Sam, it's...
Patrick, it's the perfect song!
No. Mama Patrick says no.
Patrick, it's Sam. It's Sam speaking to you. I'm begging you to go. I can see!
It felt like something passed, like I went through, like I left something behind and moved on to something new.
It's like the movie! Oh my god, it's just like the movie!
Just for one day.
Oh shit, what a moment. That was honestly one of the coolest moments of my life. Oh my god. It was just like the movie. Just like the movie. Oh my god. What's crazy is I lost that footage for 2 years. For 2 years, I didn't see this footage. And what's great about this moment is not only is it true what they say about feeling like you're leaving the past behind and just starting from scratch, it's also special to me because it's actual footage of my life changing. And so after I stayed the night in Pittsburgh and for that weekend, due to a delayed storm, I drove down to Nashville, and I got to see my dad halfway through the trip.
Just down this side too, man.
And this was actually my first time in Nashville, and I honestly was floored by how electric this city was. I mean, there were bands at every bar, on every floor. There were street performers there as well. But it was nice to go down there with my dad, see him again, have dinner with him, hang out for a couple days, and then just as quick as I came, I was back on the road, headed to Dallas. And this was insane. This is an Airbnb that I stayed at. I booked this Airbnb a month in advance, and when I first saw it, I thought it was complete bullshit. It was a mansion, it had a theater, a pool in the backyard, and it was going for $60 a night. I mean, there's even a library. It was honestly a great place to do a bit of relaxing before I got back on the road the very next morning, headed to Midland, Texas. And this is where one of my best friends, Will, lived. He knew I was coming in that day, but he had no idea when, so I figured why not just surprise him when he's at work.
It's open. Here.
Oh, never mind. I got it. I forgot that it was open.
What's up, man?
What the heck, bro? What's up, dude? How you been, bro?
Doing good, holy shit.
Holy shit, bro.
What's up, man?
I'm doing good, bro.
Fuck, you smell good.
Thanks, bro. Dude, I'm working a car deal right now, actually. Hi, baby. What's up, man? Dude, I miss you, bro. You look good, dude. I feel like you got a little bit taller, dude.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Dang, man.
Just a little bit. What up,
Look at
camera? What up?
Marley's here. Marley's here.
You guys got me, dude. What's up, bro?
Look at this guy. Fucking man now. He's got a job and everything.
Rosas. The cheese, the queso.
I see regular.
What?
What did you say?
I just want the queso to be regular size.
Well, we only have small or large, sir.
Small is fine. What do you want, buddy?
Oh shoot, I don't even know.
Can I get 4 McChickens? I'm just joking. Yeah, my best friend here wants a burrito. Let him pick real quick.
You have to number 50.
Yes.
Thank you for your waiting.
Thank
Sorry.
you. No, it's okay. I appreciate
we
it.
were closing and stuff.
Hey, don't worry about it.
All right. Have a good evening.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Thank you.
The Dankies. It was good to finally see one of my best friends on this road trip because I hadn't seen Will in just about 2 years. And I feel like I did a lot of growing up with him throughout high school and into my young adult years. So getting to see him again was just really great. Oh shit!
Same, bro.
Now, this part of the trip is the most important part. After I left Midland, I drove up to Denver, and that's where I met up with Haley.
Just grabbing lunch in the Springs with Marley.
Yep. When Haley found out I was heading her way on this road trip, we started making plans to meet up with each other that weekend. And it was cool because I got to meet her other best friend, Gabby. So the three of us had lunch at this cafe, And somehow we thought it would be a cool idea to go to a sky zone and just jump around for a couple hours. What is she doing? Yeah! Now, there's only so much I can say before I just start rambling on and on about how much fun it was hanging out with these two. So I'm just gonna let you watch.
She was like, you can finally get your nose pierced. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, each screen 2 limited. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Get the orange socks. Is it a time lapse?
I can make it a time lapse. What up, everybody? No.
So we're gonna do a question and answer that I asked you guys on my Instagram.
Q&A.
So the first question is, what music are you into right now? I mean, I really like the Barney theme song. He works at Tractor Supply Co.
Tractor Supply Co. I sell you tires, I sell you winches, and I sell you corn.
Boy, we're trying to make a video! Let's scoot in like we actually like each other. I don't know you guys. I love the background music. You don't even have to put any background music in it. You have this. If you were a worm, how long would you be? How weird is this? Extremely. But I'm digging it.
Guys, the lightning is getting bad.
Where?
Right in the darkness right there.
Right
Okay.
in the darkness. In the darkness!
Guys, we're gonna get electrocuted.
That's what
So
she said.
be it.
Why are you single?
I'm too fucking weird.
Watch this video and you'll know why. Like, ooh, what was your first impression about me?
Well, we had math class together in 8th grade, and then I saw you at the PX with your brother and your
How do
parents.
you remember these specific moments that I don't even remember happening? I thought you were very nice because I hung out with other people before I hung out with you. Once I started hanging out with you and Rashawn and Jesse, like it felt right. Next question. Have you ever been fired from a job?
Stop ruining it.
No, I've had one job all my life. Hey Marley, have you ever been fired?
Hey, real quick, I just want to say that I'm really glad I'm friends with Marley. He's a great guy, and I love him. And it did feel like forever. I don't know, because I felt like it's because we...
My first impression of Marley was he's got a pretty cool style, and he laughs at my jokes, so I guess he's in. I met him like 2 hours ago, so he's just letting me use his camera so I can be famous. Dude, I know.
And before I knew it, it was already time to go. It was just a really, really positive weekend. So having to leave Colorado, I was really upset by it. I'm really gonna miss it here. I had a good time, and I hope to be back soon, but I gotta hit the road. So the day comes, I pack my car up, and I'm about an hour south of Colorado Springs. And Gabby messages me on Instagram and in a joking way says, "What are you doing with your life? Come back, turn around, like, we miss you." And I don't know what happened. I really took that seriously. And so I really thought about it. I really thought to myself, what am I doing with my life? I've got an entire summer ahead of me. Why do I feel so obligated to get to San Diego as soon as possible? And I think that's when I made the best decision for myself, and that was to turn the fuck back around. Just kidding! I just realized, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm not in a rush, so I'm turning the fuck around. And that's exactly what I did. I pulled off to the side of the road, and then I called my mom up. I said, "Mom, I'm staying in Colorado for 2 more weeks." And without even thinking twice about it, I got back in my car, and I started driving up north to Superior, Colorado. I messaged Gabby back and I told her, "You know what? You're right. I'm coming back. But don't tell Haley, because because I want to surprise her. And I didn't get any footage of this, unfortunately, but I'll never forget the look on her face when I pulled up. And like I said before, I documented a lot of this through Snapchat, so this is what Colorado looked like through my eyes daily. Yeah. Who is this whose mans is this? Yo, whose mans is this? And day in and day out, the three of us would find somewhere to go exploring, whether it was down in the Springs, if it was in Denver, or up in Boulder where we were at. It really didn't matter where we went. Wherever the three of us went was going to be fun regardless. The real reason why I turned around that day is because those two girls healed a lot of my wounds. So when I left, I felt like I was doing myself a disservice by leaving so soon. There was one night in particular where Haley, Gabby, and we drove out to this lookout called Flagstaff. It's a spot in the mountains where you can park your car, go sit down on some benches, and overlook the entire city of Boulder. The three of us were just in this huge moment of bliss where death just didn't seem to scare us. That's a strange, euphoric feeling. You're so content with your life in that very moment, you would almost be okay with dying because you would die happy. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced something like that or anything close to that, but it's great. So that night I'll never forget. I think one of my favorite days being in Colorado was when we drove up to Mount Evans. And for those of you who don't know, Mount Evans is the highest road you can drive up in America.
Where did he go? Bruh, he's gone. There he is. Did you change your mind? Not stable enough?
I slipped.
Oh no.
Way too sketchy, I'm sorry.
Panoramic, turn around, stick it out, should you gotta... No.
Once we made the summit, we were well over 14,000 feet, which was insane. And it got really hard to breathe, actually. Why is he standing like that, bro? I got to go see my friend Beslam. I mean, I knew this kid when he was still going to middle school. So it was great to see him, hang out with him, see how good he was doing. And this kid felt like another little brother of mine. And of course, we did more hiking, more trails, more views. because there's just nothing better. And for the 4th of July, we hung out with one of Haley's friends, Allie, at her place. And yet, eventually, I did have to leave Colorado. It was without a doubt my favorite part of the whole trip. And the time that I had there was truly unforgettable. I was pretty excited to get to El Paso, even though I came in pretty late. I was happy to see the family friends that I've known since I was a kid growing up in the military. And that's the thing too, for those of you who don't know, growing up as a military brat, you just know a lot of people and families across the US. My time in El Paso was pretty brief, but I thought it was such a cool place. And then finally the time came where it was my last day on the road trip and I was headed to San Diego. And this was the longest leg of my whole journey. This was like a solid 12-hour drive for me. It's so hot. And I remember coming up through Yuma and through Mexicali and then finally up into San Diego, and God, it just felt good to be home. I'm finally fucking home. Yo. I fucking made it. And it was good to finally see my mom and sisters again, and my aunt, my grandparents, everyone. Now, I'd be showing you a lot of video of San Diego if I still had it. Unfortunately, all the videos I had on my old computer were lost when my processor burned out. So, kinda sucks, but nonetheless, it was great being home again. I got to get out in the ocean again, go surf. I mean, that's the best. That's the best thing about home, man. Is I can just get up and drive 15 minutes to the beach in the morning, get some coffee, watch the surf, grab my board, go catch some waves. And it was mornings like that where I'd sit down and really think about the past month and how much it changed me. That's when this idea of a movie came about. That's when I really felt like the anticipation of this summer going to suck and this road trip going to suck just turning into arguably the best summer of my life so far. And then finally the time came to go back up to New York to pack up the rest of my things and move to Boston. But yes. It wasn't all bad news when it came time to leave, because at least when I landed, my friends Carlos and Christian would pick me up. Sweet. Yo, what's good? Damn, what's up, man? Yo, we're all rocking the same hat right now. Cloud.
guys.
Where's the welder? Where's the welder? We took the afternoon to hang around Niagara Falls for a little bit, and everything was great, but we didn't get home till super late because Carlos got us lost.
I can't read directions! You said right when it was a fucking left. Fuck you, Marley T. You keep left. I told you. Not right. Nigga. But you said right. Yeah, because you had to turn a fucking right or else you would have turned that way. Which is the way you have to go! Okay, let's all just simmer the fuck down. Okay? Calm the fuck down! Shit! Why do you sound like that, man? Are we back in fucking Eden? Damn it! Back! I need a cigarette. I should've saved my fries. It's like we fucking been here before, man! It's like deja vu! Deja fucking vu! This bitch ass got us lost! Yo, who said that? Big bean looking ass, look at him!
The only thing I was actually afraid of when going back to New York was just being reminded of those same feelings I had before I left. See, the thing is the past 12 months of my life at this time were some of the hardest, saddest, yet most amazing months of my life. And for all those good times I had, I pay a lot of tribute to the people that were around me, the people I chose to surround myself with because they made me feel happy. I also pay a lot of tribute to the struggles that I had. There were a lot of times where I doubted myself and questioned whether I was good enough to be where I wanted to be. Finally, I got tired of questioning myself, and I just remember being so angry. I was sick and tired of doubting myself. It made me so angry to the point where I needed to prove to myself that I was worth it. That it was possible for me to get out of here. And I think that's what made this year so amazing overall, is I had the perfect balance of heartache and joy. It's the amount of growth that amazes me. So coming back to a place that reminded me of my reality 10, 15, or even 30 weeks ago, it's very emotional because looking back at who I was at that time and seeing all the struggles and the grit that I endured, looking back at it now 10 weeks later, I felt much better about my life and where it was going. Act 3. That is what I've titled this part of my life. And it all started right here in Boston. Sometimes I still question whether I deserve to be where I am. And since living here, I've often asked myself, did I really work hard and earn my place in this city? Or did I just get lucky? I've given this a lot of thought, and I realized that with my kind of luck, there's no way I made it here by chance. I did work hard. I did earn a place in this city. Since living here, I've met extraordinary people, made lifelong relationships, helped a lot of people, and it's only been 2 years. I'm so happy to be here, but I'm even happier that I had this intermission to really collect my thoughts, find myself again, and set me up for the next stage of my life.
If you deal with walk backwards, stay far. We're dealing with truths and rights. Come some more into my side.
All right, wait, hang on. Don't click away yet. I want to thank you guys for watching this movie all the way through and making it this far. See, I'm a person that has so much gratitude for everything that I've experienced in my life, yet there's so much guilt that comes with that. I feel guilty because I feel very fortunate to have gone through such amazing experiences in my life at such a young age. Yet there's so many people that have it a lot worse than me. And so I feel guilty for that, and I feel obligated to somehow give back in some sort of way, and that's what this movie is. If you remember in the beginning of the movie when I was packing up my house, that was a very emotional time in my life, and it was hard to film that. So whatever it is you're going through, whether it's severe depression, anxiety, if you're suffering from an illness, a breakup, a divorce, whatever it is, I can't give you that exact answer to help you cope with that, but I can give you one good answer, and that's to go travel. That's the answer I gave myself at the time when I was filming that moment. So in pursuit of me feeling obligated to give back in some sort of goddamn way, here it is. This movie is for you to watch. This is my answer for you. This is something you can always come back and watch, refer to, listen to, something to help you keep going. If watching this movie has helped you in any sort of way, feel free to message me on any of my socials. Those are linked in the description. Comment on this video. Let me know what you think. Shoot me a DM. Shoot me a message telling me how this made you feel. I'm so interested in knowing. And if for some reason you guys feel like you want to support me for my further projects and stories that I want to tell you, my Patreon's in the description as well, and you can go look at that. So yeah, that's the movie. I've been working on this thing for 2 years now. It's Friday, August 30th. I'm 22 years old. I don't know, man. I'm still trying to fucking figure life out just like most of you guys are. So don't feel like you need to prove something to anybody. Don't worry about what people have to say about you. Just focus on yourself and worry about your own happiness. That's the best thing you can do. If you guys feel like you want to keep following me for my future stories and projects that I'm doing, I'd greatly appreciate it, because I mean, I don't know if you guys already know, but my life story is going to be a good one.
London talking to rhetoric about my life and shit. I thought the album was finished, but I keep writing shit. It's kinda funny how life changed and rearranged. No matter what happens, everything ain't gonna be the same. The incredible album, what an incredible outcome. I grip the mic and talk to the people like I'm Malcolm. I used to think the fame and money was the motivation, until I toured the world and met the people face to face and understood that the power was harnessed in that basement. It ain't about the money or notoriety, it's about the people and making a difference in society. But don't get it twisted, this life I'm living is like a movie. The Godfather, the good fella, wielding the Uzi. One with the people, if the people is wondering who's he. Same level, the same rebel that never settled, pulling strings like Geppetto, who overcame the ghetto. And I know you wrote me and I still ain't answered. Cause shit is different now, it's forced upon me different stances. I used to spend all of my time conversing with you, but now I write this song to let you know I'm hurting with you. Shit is too big, but let's be honest, man, it's kinda bittersweet. Beside the shows and meet and greets, y'all only see me on the street, and even then that shit is rare. I just don't go outside, cause honestly I don't fuck with this world, I'd rather hide. That misconception, cause I rap, I must be filled with pride. Shit, I ain't perfect. If you heard different than someone lied. People in my ear telling me talk that shit. Actions speak louder than words, I'd rather walk that shit. Since the first album, I'm one of the highest earners on the label. Within 6 months, I put the second one on their table. I played sold out shows in parts of the world I can't pronounce. Release the tickets, watch them disappear when we announce. Fuck all that murder but set up a shit right now, just let me bounce. The mood around me is people smoking that by the ounce. Leave Friday for the show and come back Monday with 100 grand. Don't fuck with checks, so when I bounce, I prefer cash in hand. You know my first week looking crazy due to high demand. Cause people don't buy music in this day and age, they buy the brand. There's ups and downs, don't get me wrong, but back when I ain't have shit, felt like I would've sold my soul to make it with this rap shit. Thank God he never let Lucifer close enough to ask. Let me attain it by working hard and busting my ass. Achieved a lot in life, but what's a lot with more to gain? At least I don't drink to avoid the hurt, we call that champagne.